Good morning, Bill. Good morning. Thank you, Brock. What did you have to go through the other way? Pop shrooms?
No, I just gotta give it time.
Okay. Thanks. Good morning, everybody. A little bit of a late start again, and it's not because we're showing up late, it's because of the YouTube situation. Good morning. We're going to be working on that this weekend. Figure out what we have to do this weekend to make that stop it. Knock it off. Good morning, everybody. I gotta get to work on that YouTube situation.
Haven't tried new Parmesan stuffed crust?
Good morning, you guys. Good morning. Honestly, we're not late. We're just late. Good morning. Okay. Nothing like starting the day out 4 times. Good morning, Waz. 4 times is all it took today. Four attempts to go live. So looks like we finally nailed it at 9:07. I think I'm gonna start early tomorrow.
You did.
But not that much. I was only like 3 minutes early today. I'm gonna have to start like 15 minutes early from now on. Until we figure it out. Until we figure it out, Mr. LaFlower. Which we will. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Kim and Derek and Nerdy and Kat and Fourleaf and Sandy and Billy D and Justin. Justin has won two cornhole tournaments in 2 days. Cornholio. That's fantastic. I still can't get used to calling a game cornhole. I'm just saying. Back in the 70s and the 80s, cornhole wasn't a game. It was a different kind of game. It was a really personal. It was a personal connection situation. Okay? Neo, that's a lot. And that's a whole lot. Jesus Christ. Oh, that's great. Yeah, it was only horseshoes back then, Joe. And grenades, hand grenades. Horseshoes and hand grenades. Okay? I always called it beanbag. Where'd we go? When did we change it from beanbag toss to cornholio? We played that in grade school. It was a beanbag toss. Okay, don't you guys remember beanbag tosses? Now it's all complicated and everything. Okay? It's just your shoes. You know, there's some people that are really, really good at it. It looks like our buddy LaFlower is. We have a friend here, Mushmouth. He's like ranked somewhere in the United States. Okay? But back in the day, we just called it beanbag toss. Okay? Then we had to go and turn it into cornhole. What'd Derek say? What'd Derek say? First time someone asked me to play cornholio, I gave them the side eye. I'm with you, Derek. I gave him the full front eye. I was like, wait a minute. I've never heard it called washers. I've never heard that one. Okay, that's a new one on me. But I like that. I gave him the full front eye. Yeah. Justin Mushmouth is a pro. I'm really not sure which group he belongs to, but last I heard from him, he was ranked in the top 300 or 400 in the state of New Hampshire. He got a ranking. He's like on a list somewhere. Like, and that's a big deal. And when you play him, he's really good. Yeah, we've had him when he's come to the Mush Fests, and we play beanbag toss. He's incredible. Myself, my nickname is Hubcap. I'm a hubcap because I hit just the side of the board, just like right about where the hubcap is on your car. That's about where I land my bags. Tad, who was my partner, we called him Yard Sale. Okay? Because his stuff was all over the place. He had his beanbags everywhere. Okay? Almost never on the board. Okay? Jesus Christ. That's great, Justin. You're killing the game. Yard sale. That was half the fun whenever we were playing. What was your nickname, B? Yeah, you did. You were like some kind of a beaver or something, or... Oh, then you deserve one. Half the fun. Ranked number 3 in New Hampshire State. Only outranked by 2 blind sisters. Streety. That's funny. Oh, that's funny. He's up there, though. When we see him here, we'll ask him what his current ranking is. Okay? Your game name is Fanny Pack? All right. All right. Okay, that works. Fanny Pack. Does that have anything to do with cornholes? Oh, Jesus Christ. Brock throws shoes instead of beanbags. The guy can throw a shoe, okay? He can hit a plastic bag from about 20 feet, and then he can run. Good morning. I got a really neat note. A really neat note. I'm going to read it to you guys, okay? Where is this fella? So, we have a follower, a friend, subscriber. I don't know that I see her here that much in the morning. You know that we're a group that's lucky enough to always be able to be here live in the morning. But there's a great number of people, averaging somewhere around 800 a day, that go back and watch the stream at some point during their day based off of their schedule and even off their geographic location. We have a lot of Europeans. About, last I looked on my analytics, something in the neighborhood of 17% of our subscribers live in Europe. And then we have some Asian and etc. So, I can't, dude, Mr. 420 says his testosterone drops if he plays cornhole. That's funny. I'm not making fun of the game because there's a lot of skill. And it is an absolute fun game to play when you're playing. So I'm just teasing around about the name. Okay. Yes, thank you, Streety. Streety's saying hello to you 800 people who aren't live just today. Just today. Nerd, it can be pretty hard. You have to be, like, pretty good at it, right? Okay, so, Jesus Christ, it's crazy this morning. Anyways, one of the ladies that are with us wrote me a note, and she's wanting me to pick up some more microdoses. So we make her some microdoses and send them out to her. She's putting in a reorder. okay? That isn't what I'm trying to tell you guys. I want you to, it's all in the hips and in the elbows too, right, Streety? Right? Ryan Lee, he wants to know what this channel's about. Why don't you guys tell him while I talk? So, she wrote me a note. She said, I wanted you to know I started work as an RN at the Texas Pain Experts in San Antonio. And it's going really, really well. I wouldn't have been able to do this if it hadn't been for microdosing. She said, my microdoses are for real. When she microdoses, it's for real. She goes, another thing. She goes, I love you, Pops. Thanks so much. It's because of the power of the mushroom. When I first started this journey, thank you, Jeffrey. Being positive, kind, caring, and then we mentioned psilocybin a lot. Can you believe that I'm making almost $60 an hour? RN money, good for you. Good for you. When I first started this journey, I was depressed. I couldn't leave my house. I couldn't finish school. I didn't have friends. I have a great job now and a life I am forever grateful for. Pops, this is adorable. Wait till you hear what she says. Pops, if you ever needed a nurse to be by your side, I would be there for you. And then she adds, free of charge. I might just take her up on that.
Is she single?
Get out of here.
What?
Get out of
I'm
here.
just asking. I didn't know.
I don't, man.
I'm asking.
Why do you, why? What? Oh, thanks, nurse. It's a pretty good profile.
I'm just saying.
I know she's making cash, right?
Yeah.
She's doing the cashish. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, is she single? I'll ask her.
Don't ask her.
Okay? No, I'm going to say Brock wants to know.
Don't put my face.
Yeah, I'm going to put you out there. She's making some serious cashish. Okay? Hags, good morning. Thanks for giving that advice. Good job there. Okay. We're not going to spend a lot of time doing crazy pop stories today. Okay, easy, Brock. You know, I hope she is. I wouldn't mind getting rid of him. Okay? I would not mind sending him to San Antonio. Boom. Boom. Go, do, see. Yeah, he's got to, please make a move, kid. Alaska's the last frontier. Alaska's the last frontier. Or wait a minute. Is it the next frontier? What do you guys think the answer is? Is Alaska the last frontier or the next frontier? Good morning, Connor from South Carolina. What do you guys think? Last or next? Is it a nexty or a lasty? What do you think? Alaska's killing the game, Richard. Alaska's officially done watching the lower 48 use psychedelics from the sidelines. Natural Medicine Alaska just submitted their ballot initiative to legalize psilocybin and certain other psychedelics for the 2026 election. The group officially began gathering signatures last week, and it only needed 100 to kick off the certification process. Alaska's approach builds on Colorado's model, but it goes a little further. The initiative would create a, quote, grow, gather, and gift framework for personal use. That's what Colorado does. You can grow it, you can gather, forage it, and you can gift it. You just can't be remunerated or paid for it. It can't hold any kind of a monetary value. This would allow practitioners to provide a therapy in their offices and in Alaska, in their homes, not just healing centers. This bill also establishes protections for indigenous medicine practices, and it requires facilities to be majority Alaska owned. Ibogaine, with its safety risks, is specifically excluded from personal use, but the initiative allows for specialized treatment centers for the ibogaine. Alaska's very territorial about being an Alaskan citizen. Like, they're really good at it. They have, correct me if I'm wrong, but they have an oil allowance. Every year you get a check from the state that comes from the oil companies that have pipelines going through their state. And if you were born in Alaska, I think you have to be born in Alaska. And if you were, you qualify automatically for this payment that you receive once a year. And it's something in the neighborhood, last I heard, something in the neighborhood of around $2,500. Boom. You wake up on oil day, and if you were born in Alaska, you get yourself a $2,500 check. And some of these families that are living off of the grid, some of them, Jesus Christ, you would automatically qualify because you're omnipresent. So if you haven't been getting your check from Alaska, you gotta send them a lightning bolt or something. Okay, you have to get their attention. But I love that about Alaska. They take care of their citizens. Surely it's still early, but Alaskans do seem on board with the proposal. A year, John Zook, $2,500 a year. About $2,500 a year. But can you imagine you have 3 or 4 kids? That's $10,000 right there. Boom, into the family coffer. And a lot of those off-grid situations, it doesn't take as much money to live as it does here, right? In a 2023 poll found 49% of Alaskans supported decriminalization. Now, I'm going to read that one next, nerdy. Now, the number has jumped to Alaskans, 63% of their citizens are supporting psychedelics framed as a mental health treatment. By 2026, voters will probably have seen other programs play out. So America's wildest state, voting yes might be the tamest choice on the ballot. Alaska's looking like they love it, and they're moving very rapidly towards a lot more understanding and acceptance. The land of the free. How is that? That's pretty cool. Let's check out Colorado for a second. Let's go jump over to Colorado. Nerdy, Alaska's kicking ass. You know what though? On my shipping app, it keeps track of which states I send my packages to. There's only 2 states on my app that I've never sent anything to. Like, we don't have people there watching or ordering or something. Kimberly, I loved Alaska. We took a cruise, went up there. Took a plane ride out over a lake, pontoon boat, landed on this glass lake, and you could see a mama bear and her 2 cubs were digging clams from the shore side of the lake. So the plane pilot brought it in slow and low and landed quite a bit away from the beach. And then he got out of the boat, out of the airplane. And there were 3 or 4 passengers there. And he gets out and he has strapped to the pontoon of his airplane a big pole. And then he slowly, quietly pulled the airplane in towards the beach so we could get as close as possible to watching Mama Bear teach babies how to dig into the muddy water at the lake bank and come out with clams. And I'm not kidding you, we ended up being, I could almost count the claws on the bear. We got incredibly close, like maybe 10 yards away from them. And they didn't even react. They were just like, oh yeah, planes come in here all the time. And then he'd turn the boat around, the plane around, pulled out and away from them before we started up and took off. By the way, I got to fly the plane a little bit. I didn't get to take off or land, but I was in the co-pilot seat and took over the controls for a little bit. So flying around the foggy fjords in Alaska. Loved it. I said I wasn't going to tell stories about me today, but here I am. Okay? Justice is a dish best served warm, with love and compassion. On that note, Colorado Governor, I don't remember saying him what kind of plane it was, to be honest with you, if it was de Havilland or not. I really don't remember. But, I mean, there are so many small planes, small landing strips. You would think probably a quarter of the guys in Alaska have pilot's licenses. It's one of the that's cool, Fred. It's one of the, if not the most private pilots in any individual state. But it makes sense, right? There's a lot of places that's the only way you can get in and get out. So now we're in Colorado, and the Colorado Governor, Jared Polis, announced at Psychedelic Science 2025 last week, big announcement. Politicians do that, you know? Politicians, big announcements. And if I'm going to make an announcement like this, I'm going to make it at the Psychedelic Science 2025. Probably had a suit and tie on and everything, right? He makes the big announcement that he is going to pardon, or is pardoning, all state-level convictions for psilocybin possession. If you were convicted in Colorado of hold on, nerdy, don't tell them the punchline. If you were convicted in Colorado of psilocybin possession, automatic pardon. You don't even have to apply for it, anything like that. Boop, pardon on top of your head. It makes sense, since these crimes would be perfectly legal today under Colorado's natural medicine program. Okay? The pardons apply to a whopping 4 Coloradoans. 4 of them. 4 people getting pardoned. I mean, this is the big announcement. I don't think at the announcement he said, and that'll include you, and you. I think he made it, this is a big deal. 4 people actually qualify. The surprisingly low number must reflect the narrow scope of the executive order, which covers only state-level simple possession cases for adults 21 and older. Why is the number so low? Okay. The reason is most psilocybin cases were probably handled at the local level and bundled into other charges. So if you had a little bit of something else there, when they got you with your psilocybin possession, you're still not pardoned. If you had bundled in other charges, so they really, okay, even though we're only talking a handful of people, this is still more than a symbolic gesture. The pardons remove real barriers to employment and housing for people that were punished under these laws that the voters later rejected. Polis hinted, the governor hinted, there could be more to come, such as ibogaine, DMT, and mescaline. So the deal is only 4 people in the state of Colorado, previous to the pardon, had actually been charged and convicted for simple possession at the state or local level. That's still not that many. It's because they're not paying attention. They're not out there to try to, there aren't too many psilocybin police floating around in Colorado. Okay? I agree with you, Melissa. But isn't that a neat story? At first you're like, go governor! And it's still a great pardon because it's ongoing, right? But at the same time, politicians, he has to make the big announcement at the big meeting of the big deal for the big state. Sir, how many would that apply to? I don't think he answered. Okay. My standard, Fred, was the Cessna 172. That's usually what I was flying. Make a big deal out of it, right, Queenie? Anybody recognize that sound? If you do, be a Pavlov dog and do what you're supposed to do. I'm not even going to tell you. Just do it. The newbies are supposed to put a number between 1 and 50, 3 of them on a line, and send it here. The first person to get it correct is going to get a pack of supplemental supplements flying in on a float plane to drop off very near the bear in your neighborhood. Okay? Which number do you think is on the line? Laura Devine, kill the game, kill the game. Laura, I've been thinking about you. And obviously the universe is 2. Laura said 6, and the first number in the chute is a 6. Laura Devine, I am so glad that Laura won. Laura's such a nice lady. I've had the opportunity to meet her 2 or 3 times in person. And she's always here. She's always divine. She's never divisive. And beautiful family. Goes through it with some physical issues. And you've never heard anything from her except courage. That's all I've ever experienced from Laura. Don't invite her to sleep in your house, okay? Because she won't. And I don't mean that, I mean at a mush fest. She's not coming in. I mean, she'll come in and party and stuff, but she has her own sleeping arrangements, okay? And those of you that know Laura, Niffer, she's just wonderful. Those of you that know Laura know what her sleeping arrangements are. Laura. This is a good morning. I'm going to be reading an article to you guys. It's a little bit long, so it might run into tomorrow. But Kimberly, I agree with you. She's just the sweetest. Turns out she may have the right idea. Look at how many people like Laura. She is divine, Shanti says. Yes. Laura, get me your address. I'm actually going to make you a special supplement package. You might get a couple of extras in there. That's how much we like Laura. Okay? Look at everybody. Laura, why do you have a good reputation? What's going on? Oh, it's because you deserve it. Okay. Has anybody ever had one of their social media accounts deleted or hacked? Has anybody? If you have, just give me a thumbs up. Okay. Oh, Laura, you're a doll. Um, has anybody had a social media either deleted or hacked? Yes, Mr. Phillips, I'm playing favorites. You'll be a favorite soon. I promise. Actually, you are one of my favorite. So Pops has had over 20. I think I'm at 28 total. Because I kept doing the same thing over and over, and I was like, I'm going to beat them. You don't beat them. They beat you. But there's people that it happens to. Michael Patterson. There's Sandy recently. Michael Allen mentioned something. There is a whole underground group or market for if you've been hacked or you've lost your page or your site, and you know what you do? You have to submit an appeal. I've never once had an appeal upheld. As a matter of fact, they don't even reply. If you send an appeal, it just like goes off into ether somewhere. That's been my personal experience. When an account gets hacked, social media giant Meta offers very little support. Duh. Spawning a shadowy network of brokers and Meta employees who profit from helping users get back online. There aren't enough of you that have actually had this experience for me to even stress telling you what's going on. Did you guys want to hear what's this? What's the shadowy network? What are we talking about here? Huh? What in the shadowy network is going on around here? You know what here's the shadowy network. I won't even get into the fullness of the article. What happens, or has been happening, is there's people inside of the Meta organization that have their job, and they have the clearance and the passwords to go in and legit reset people's pages based off of their application or their appeal. And that's your job there. And they have something in the neighborhood of 500 people at Meta whose job it is to do this. Humans being what they are, there's a percentage of those Meta employees that backdoor sell their access to being able to get people back online to brokers. There's one particular broker that they mentioned in this article. He's in Canada. You send him $1,200, $1,200, and he'll get your page put back. He doesn't work for Meta. He's some kind of, I'm an expert hacker, Dacker McDo, and I can get your page set back up for you for $1,200. Well, $1,200 sounds like a lot to people that aren't really using it, but there's people that are using it for their marketing and for their, some people are actually, it's almost their job. And so $1,200, while that's a stiff price, it's worth it to people to get their page back, especially because they've lost all their content, years of content. Okay? guess how they're actually doing it, Mr. Brokers? They're in touch with somebody in the Meta organization that has the passwords, and they're paying Mr. Meta Worker Boy to go in and reset the page for them. And I'll shoot you a 300 if you reset such and such a page. Meanwhile, I'm pocketing a 9 spot. There's many of these. Meta's starting to they started to sort of figure it out, and they tried to find out which ones are the leakers, which ones are the resetters that are taking backdoor cash. And if they find out, of course, you lose your job. But there's a lot of them doing it, and they're good enough at it that they can hide their tracks. You know, what is human beings? Here I am, just trying to do things right and use a little bit of ethics. And yeah, I'm gonna lose pages and stressed out. And this is, but then you got these backdoor cornhole meta guy, Mr. 420. Gosh darn it! It just dirties everything up, you know. And this guy, he's sitting there, the Canadian fellow. Yeah, Beans is right, Hager. The Canadian fellow, guess what? He says he's averaging 20 accounts a week resetting. Now, after he pays Meta and he pockets his 9 spot, what's 20 times, what is that? $18,000 a week? $18,000 a week? To be a scumbag? Anybody want his account? Oh, geez. What is going on out there? Can't they just play it straight? Just set a new page and don't do the same thing again. Okay? Joe, all you got to do is know a couple of people in Meta. And once you know one, I'm sure he's telling his friend, and he's getting, you know, Joe, who works next to him, to buy into the scam. It just, gosh darn it. Anyways, I had no idea. I had no idea that kind of stuff was going on out there. Shows you what Pops knows. I'm so in the wrong. Joe D's, you couldn't pay me to be a scammer like that. I'm not taking it. No, I'll just eat my cup of soup. What do they call it? Cup of soup? I'm good with the cup of soup. And I just don't feel like being that scammy. Okay? I don't know. And that's just one of the many scams. There's so much stuff. We were talking yesterday about being defensive. Do you guys remember that? We started out being defensive. When you're defensive, you're probably not in a great mental headspace. Generalization. Okay? Yeah, I wouldn't think you would either, Joe. Every time I get defensive, it's usually because I'm wrong. Did you know that? I'm going to read you a few quotes that I found about defensiveness. Give me 5 people that are interested, that experience defensiveness and wish that they didn't. And how can we replace defensiveness with solid self-image? Defensiveness is usually someone silently screaming that they need you to value and respect them in disguise. When you see someone being defensive, it's usually someone screaming, would you just please value me? Just respect me. But they don't know how to get there. People are only defensive when they have something to defend. Accountability feels like an attack when you're not ready to acknowledge your toxic behavior. What? Accountable? I don't want to be accountable to anybody. Defensive behavior is a barrier to communication. People only get mad and defensive about certain topics when they know that they're guilty. Defensiveness is another way of saying, I'm perfect as I am, and therefore I don't need to grow or change. Wow. Really? You don't? Then just be defensive. Yes, Peter. You can get to a place where you see clearly. That place is zero defensiveness. You want to see clearly? Eliminate defensiveness. When your woman or man, when your mate expresses themselves to you and you get defensive, the message you're giving them is, it's not safe for you to lean on me. Ooh. Can I say that one again? When they express themselves to you and you get defensive, you've basically told them it's not safe to lean on me. I would advise against defensiveness on principle. It precludes the best eventualities along with the worst. At the most basic level, it expresses a lack of faith. No more defensiveness. No more taking things personally. He'll handle it. Really. Trust him. Rest. Quit thinking it's up to you to police people. And that God needs you to take a stand. God needs nothing. Whatever your God is. It doesn't need you to take a stand. Good morning, Vishmita. Yielding to emotions. No, Nerdy, this is I've been going through and just gathered a bunch of defensiveness quotes from a lot of different sources, and I'm just sort of reading a list of quotes. And then we're going to jump to the Atlas of the Heart. Yielding to emotions such as anger or hurt or defensiveness will drive your holiness away. Lesson number 1. Wait for this one. This one is this one. Lesson number 1. Defensiveness is defeat. Never defend yourself. Defensiveness is defeat. Don't defend yourself. Defensiveness is an admission that your value is tied up in another person. You're taking them personal. Everyone talks about the good old days when guys were tough and quarterbacks got crushed all the time. But back in the day, there were defensive ends like Mario Williams, 6'7", 300 pounds, 10% body fat, running a 4.740. That's defensive in a sport, not in your life. To gain more from conflict, you want to gain more from conflict? Simple. Simple. Just place value on the negative things that people have to say about you. Never trigger someone's defensiveness again. Impeccable people do not trigger other people's defensiveness. If you're living a life that's trying to show empathy and patience, you're not trying to trigger anybody. Defensiveness is the arch enemy of listening. How about this one? Normalize apologizing after you are wrong, instead of being defensive and disrespectful because you were embarrassed. We get defensive and disrespectful because we're embarrassed. Our culture does not normalize apologizing when you're wrong. Instead, we get really good at pointing and blaming and shaming. There is little more costly to your next conversation than the price of defensiveness. You can't really communicate when you're in the defensiveness. One more here. I would advise you against defensiveness on principle. It precludes the best eventualities along with the worst. At its most basic level, it expresses a lack of faith and a lack of self-confidence, a poor self-image. One more quote. Whenever I allow anything but tenderness and compassion to dictate my response to life, be it self-righteous anger, moralizing, defensiveness, the pressing need to change others, whenever that happens, I am alienated from my true self. My identity as a child of God or a child of the universe becomes ambiguous, tentative, and confused. It's a big topic, you guys. It is a big topic because we slip into defensiveness without even realizing it. And the minute we slip there, the second we slip there, we've just chosen to not take accountability. We've chosen to not communicate. We've chosen to stop listening. We've chosen to stop growing, all because we want to be defensive. It's such a negative place for us to end up. What do you have to defend? I'm not talking about physical defense of somebody said, oh, the only thing I defend is my family. I'll defend Brock to the day I die at a physical level when there's something going on. But he lives a life that he's responsible for his own accountability. I'm not going to defend his poor behaviors if he had any. I want to do the exact opposite. I want to be an example of how not to be defensive in that situation. I don't want to defend my family if they're wrong. All you're doing is creating more. We're not talking about, somebody coming in my house to rob me. That isn't what we're talking about here. Mushmouth, you need to talk. Good morning, Mushy. You need to get together with Justin LaFlower. Justin LaFlower is mentioning early in the show here that he's won 2 cornhole tournaments in the last couple of days. And it would be really fun if you guys talked. I was bragging about you and your cornholio prowess. In order to limit our exposure to information that differs from how we think of ourselves, we get defensive. We over-justify. We make excuses. Look at all these other things we do as a result of defensiveness. Listen. We make excuses. We minimize. We blame. We discredit. We discount. We refute. Oh, and then we'll reinterpret. Defensiveness blocks us from hearing feedback and evaluating if you want to make meaningful changes in our thinking or behavior based on input from others. If somebody sees something that I'm doing that I should change my behavior, and I'm responding defensively, then I'm not listening, evaluating, and saying, you know what, I think they're right. I have a place I can change here. I want to appreciate the person that has the opportunity and the skill to give me a perspective I don't have. Give me an opportunity to change. I am open to that. And I'll always be open if I don't have my doors closed defensively. I'm not going to even dignify Ding Slayer with their response. I won't even dignify that with their response, my friend. In our Dare to Lead training, we work with participants to figure out what defensiveness looks like for them, what it feels like, and whether there are some situations that are more likely to trigger it than others. We all have triggers. There's certain things that I'm going to do that will trigger defensiveness in me. Once I start seeing that, and I feel the trigger of defensiveness, instead of being defensive, identify the trigger and be willing to change it. To increase self-awareness, we ask folks to think back to a time when they received difficult feedback and try to remember what your body was doing when those thoughts were coming up. What emotions were you feeling? The vast majority of people struggle to remember the exact thoughts and feelings, which makes sense, given that most of us go into fight or flight mode in these situations. We don't stop and identify our thoughts or our feelings. We just fight or flight. No growth there. Most people can remember their physical responses. What's one of the most obvious physical responses that you see when someone's being defensive? What's one of the most obvious? If you're even in a communication with somebody and you want to show them you're being defensive, what's some body language? Anybody? Red face, that's anger, right? Puffed up, absolutely. Poof. What's another one? Bill D. The old crossed arms. Try communicating with me now. I wonder how receptive I am just in my body language. If somebody's critiquing me, somebody's giving me feedback, I need to be open. We fold our arms over our chest. We shove our hands into our pockets, getting tunnel vision, feeling the heart race, looking down, getting dry mouth. These are just a few. It's worth thinking about the physical cues that show up when you're experiencing defensiveness, and devise a strategy that can help you pull back to the present moment. My biggest strategy, I see it coming. My hands start to go like this, and I have to tell myself internally, uncross your arms. Stand there like an open vessel to receive, because it's not personal. And if I personally can't receive when when I have a scowl on my face and my arms are crossed, you can automatically know that Pops isn't receiving. That's my automatic posture. When I get defensive, I often get tunnel vision. And I start planning what I'm going to say instead of listen. Anybody do that? You're in a conversation with someone. You're starting to get defensive. You're already planning your defense, and you've stopped listening to what the person is saying. Boop. Defensiveness turns my ears off. This is absolutely one of the reasons that second agreement is so important. We don't get to defensiveness if we're not going to take something personal. We've been acting impeccably. We're not going to take something personal. And the fourth agreement, we're doing our best. Doing our best. How many of you cross your arms when you're in a conversation with your significant other? Next time you're getting in one of those conversations, human level conversations, look at yourself. Feel yourself. Are you going there? And then what we do with our significant others, we always bring up the past. Oh, one of my best defense mechanisms is to point out your problems. I'm not even in accountability anymore. Now I'm in attack mode. Oh boy, we're going to have a great conversation here. I'll probably end up sleeping on the couch. My dog has never caused me to sleep on my couch. Never. My dog has never once, ever caused me to cross my arms. What are you going to say to me now? Rough? If we can have that kind of relationship with our dog, with our cat, how could we not with the people that we live with and we love? I found some ways to disarm my defensiveness. No, Ruff isn't always a good boy. No, he's made his little mistakes here or there. 99% of the time he's wonderful. But we never fight and argue and talk about the past. Once something happens and we've moved on from it, I don't remind him. I don't take him back. Remember that time? Remember December 4th, 2024, when you actually couldn't get out of the house, so you pooped? Bad dog. It's like, that was a long time ago, Pops. Oh no, Joe D's, they talk back. They talk back. And when we're talking, you know how they talk back? Their little tail wags. Ruff gives this little cough. They talk back. I go out of my way every day. Not out of my way. Every day, I make it a mission. I want to see my little guy's tail wag. I do. I really like to see it. I like to see him get all wiggly. Oh, jeez. Oh, my gosh. I don't remember having that relationship with my ex-wife. I didn't come home from work and just, oh, I can't wait to get Lisa to wag. Why? Get your significant other to wag their tail today. Don't be nasty right now, JC. I can see where you're gonna go. Button that one. Keep it buttoned. Make their tail wag. It's gonna be very hard to make someone's tail wag if you walked into the room with your arms crossed and a sneer on your face. My strategy is to subtly open my palms. Even if my hands are hanging by my side or on my lap. Instead of sitting like that, just go like that as someone's talking to you. Not out like this, oh, Jesus. No, just on your lap. We normally sit there with our hands touching our legs, the palms. Try in one of these conversations, just turning your palms over. Actually say, I'm sorry. Can you say that again? I really want to understand. Defensive people don't say that. Excuse me, would you say that one more time? I really want to understand. Not in a mean, say it again. Say it again. I need to understand this. Subtly with your palms open. You're gonna receive. It's pretty effective. If I'm having a really hard time, you know what you can do? Ask for a timeout. You know what I'm starting to feel? I'm starting to head in this direction. A direction I don't want to go. I'm feeling overwhelmed, just a little overwhelmed. No, it's not your fault. This is me. Can I have a timeout? Can we revisit this? There's something in here I need to learn. I appreciate you as a teacher, but right now I'm not in lesson mode. You know, that's okay. Do you know how mature that is? And when you can start communicating like that, your mental health is well on its way towards wellness. Can we sit down for 10 minutes and then start again? Is that a defensive statement? Or a question? Is that defensive? Can we take 10 minutes out and start again? Who thinks that's defensive? Who considers that extremely mature, effective, kind? That's kind communication. We talk about being kind here. One of our biggest messages in kindness is how we receive. We want to give kindly, but we want to receive kindly too. Defensiveness will block all of that. This seems a perfect place to talk about the concept of flooding. The body can become overwhelmed when it senses danger. And for a lot of us, a difficult conversation, hard feedback, or an argument is enough to send us into overdrive. Our voices raise, our blood pressure goes up, our faces turn red, our hands clench, and we stop receiving. We're flooded. Let's talk some more about flooding tomorrow. Sound good? We've run out of time here today. Boy, I like being here. I like talking about all the stuff we talk about. Thank you for being here with us today. These are phenomenal things for us to think about during the day, and let it be our takeaway. Let it be our takeaway that the people that we're going to communicate with today, we're going to practice the body language and the self-confidence that it takes to listen. Just practice it. See how much better you come out at the end of the day. Good morning, Finn. See how much better you come out at the end of today. When you hit the pillow tonight, you can actually be proud of yourself. You can say, you know what? I handled my business today in a wellness way. Anybody want to be able to say that at the end of today? Give me 5. Give me 5 people that I want to be able to say that tonight when my head hits the pillow. I want to be able to say today I practiced not being defensive. And when you're doing that, I have 2 right there, a husband and a wife. Boom, boom. If they can keep that agreement with themselves today, can you imagine the health of their home? Can you imagine the health of their home? The kids are going to flourish. The plants are going to grow. And they're going to attract people to them. And at the end of the day, that's super important. We want to attract the same spirit that we put out. And that's kindness. Go have a wonderful day. Hug your babies. Hug your wife and hug your husband. Make their tail wag. You know how. You know exactly what triggers them to feel good about themselves. You also know the other triggers. Don't practice those. Niffer, I agree. Hug your dog too, or your kitty cat. You know exactly what it takes to trigger. So trigger kindness. Trigger goodness in your home. And it's you. You're the communicator. It's your mouth the words are coming out of. It's your heart that's being exposed by the words that do come out. Gosh, you want to be a good example, don't you? Pops. 4 things. Be impeccable. Use your mouth for goodness. Not gossip, not slander, not triggering. Use it for goodness. Don't take things personal. It is never going to be about you unless you let it be about you. It isn't. When something's coming at you, it's coming from somewhere else. It's not coming from you. Expectations. Don't expect them. Don't have them. Just behave as if. And you'll start seeing the results without expectations. The results are automatically triggered by you and what you do and what you say, not by what you expect. And finally, do your best. Today, your best is going to be our homework today is let's not be defensive. In any way you start feeling that coming, open your palms, open your ears, open your heart to hear. And even if it's the most scathing, ridiculous thing in the whole world coming from someone, you know what? It's easy to say, I thank you for that perspective. It's one that I didn't have before I listened to you. You don't even have to accept it. But you do want to receive it with kindness. And that's another one. There you go, Kim. Don't be offensive. That's the trigger guy. It's very easy to tell someone whether you agreed with their criticism of you or not. Thank you. That's a perspective I'd never had before. I'm going to sit with that one for a while. The easiest way to stop things from inflaming and turning into this inferno of sleeping in opposite beds pops out. Let me give you guys a scroll out. Herbie and Kim. Paige, I love hugging my babies too. Mr. 420. Niffy. Jesus Christ, in Australia, you were funny today. Nerdy, I'm loving you, my friend. Niffy and Derek and Joe Dees. And Niffy and Kim. And she's our International Kindness Ambassador. Mike Butterball. Freddie the Hinky Hinkleston. Sanum, you have a great day. Mushmouth, love you too. Laura Devine, I love you. Laura, send me your address. I think I have it, but send it to me anyways. NMG Mode, thank you for being here. Kimberly and Melissa, it is a beautiful day already. Just experience it. That's all. We don't have to go make anything. Just experience it. Michael has open eyes and a clear mind. NMG and Jesus Christ and Freddie and Cool Kid and Jesus and Hags. Loving you, Hags. Say hi to moms for me and hug that little grandkid. NMG and Joe Dees. Herbie Von Werby Kebab. Freddie and Donnie Fife. Mr. 420. Mike Barball and Nurs. Caw. And Shanti Michael Patterson. Herbie and Solly Maldo. And Cool Kid and Niffy and the Master Beef. Jesus Christ and Clean Grow and Joe Dees and Freddie the Freddie Hinkleston. Pilar. I haven't seen my girl Pilar in a minute. Derek Anderson, John Zook, Herbie, Melissa G. Always one of my favorite. Choopy. Choop. Good morning, Choop. Beautiful eyes. Choop. Oh, gosh, he's talented. Freddie, have a great day, you guys. Pops, peace. Choop, get back here tomorrow. We all want to say more to you. Get out of here. Pops out.